Hello, everyone. Disembodied GZ here for more of a, I guess we could call this more of a bit of a theory craft. Yes. Uh, so what theory will I be crafting today? Well, if you did, if you didn't notice by the curious organization of the party that I have today, we're going to be talking about Baal, the Electro Archon. And I know some of you are going to go, GZ, it's actually pronounced Baal. Well, I don't really care. I played Diablo 2, and seeing that spelling, it can be nothing but Baal. All right. But what am I talking about specifically with Baal? All right. So what I want to talk about is who she is and what her what her intentions are. What's the end goal here for the god of electricity. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying that I think some might say, what is an archon? Well, an archon seems to be the sum of the sum of the vision bearers. So that's why I arranged my party this way, to have 4 electro. I don't have fish. No, I have fischl. Duh. I don't have catching, so I don't have every single electro character in the game. But I think I've done some research into the characters, and I think I can put something together in a kind of Tevat Historia kind of way. And if this video gets noticed by him and he does a better version of the video, I think that'd be pretty cash, actually. But let's get into it. So, the Archon. And I'm not going to talk about leaks or whatever. I'm only going to talk about what we have either in-game or on the official the official channel, which I do have the video for Kazuha pulled up because it's part of a point that I want to make later, a little bit later inside the video. So, that being said, let's first start by talking about electro characters. Let's figure out who they are, and then from there I'll use that as a springboard to speak on what I believe Baal to be like. So, First one I want to talk about, I've been playing as him since the start of this video. He was my first main, actually, funnily enough, is Razer. So, this is just going to be kind of a review. I might get some things wrong just because of, stupid. But, we're going to talk about Razer first. So, Razer is, he's Electro. You can see it right there on his back. He's got the stand. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. He's got like his wolf stand that he uses as part of his ult. He's got his claw E that you can tap or charge it up for him to eat the electro balls to get energy. Good stuff. Solid kit, really solid actually. But so what does Razer want? What is Razer about? Goals and intentions and whatnot. Well, I believe that Razer is either searching for, and keep in mind I'm not 100% deep into this, but I believe that Razer is either searching for or looking to maintain his family. I believe the term in-game is lupical. That's what I think Razer is. I think that's what I think Razer is after. Either the the building or maintenance of his family, of his his lupical. Just give me a second here. Take a sip here, because long-winded stuff like this I'm not used to. There's a chest over there. That's what I believe Razer's about. Is that, just strictly speaking. Also, I'm not high enough for this. But, Razer. Yeah, that's Razer. Next is Lisa. So, Lisa is the librarian for the Knights of Favonius in Mondstadt. And as we saw from as we saw from one of her quests, which I guess I should preface this by saying there may be some light spoilers for things, but I don't think I'll be spoiling any of the main quests, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. But Lisa is rather aggressive sometimes about her her library, about getting books back and whatnot. I'm pretty sure we even murked an abyss mage for that. But that's not what I'm pointing out. So Lisa seems to desire not to go outside, to destroy every pumpkin in the world, and to keep the library intact. I think some of you will be beginning. Jesus, to see the theme that I'm going for here. Next is Fischl, and admittedly, she was a little bit harder to figure out. I had to I don't have her bonded up, so I had to use an external resource to find out what her story was, but I think I figured it out. And this you can, another point I'll make will come soon. But, yes, so I believe that Fischl's whole thing is the proliferation of her reputation as the Prinzessin. I'm not going to say the whole thing because my German isn't that good, and I don't want to embarrass myself any more than I already am. On video. I probably should have done this monologue and not attempted to do gameplay at the same time. But whatever. The point is, I think Fischl's objective is to spread her reputation as the Prinzessin, or keep a hold of it, in which the theme that I'm going for here becomes apparent. I believe that the theme of eternity that Baal is all about, it can have one of two meanings, and I believe that we see both meanings with what we know. Those meanings being eternity. Well, no, not eternity. That's the word. Those meanings being either preservation. Well, I guess not just preservation, but I guess preservation and/or stagnation. That's what I believe. That's what I believe Electro is about overall. I think it's more preservation than stagnation, which means that these things are Baal's goals. Well, the preservation part. The stagnation will come into play later, as I hope to reveal. But anyway, next is Beto. And I don't have a level Beto. I know. But Beto, and again, I haven't put much work into Beto, so I don't know that much about her at all. That, and there aren't that many stories that she appears in, which also presents some issue, because some of the conclusions that I've been drawing have been based on story quests and the interactions with these characters that we've gotten in game. But Beto. So Beto was a little slightly more challenging, just like Fischl. But I believe that Beto's goal is the preservation of the Crux fleet, and this might even extend outward to the preservation of Leeway. In a way. Part of Beto's story does have her rescuing all kinds of people, building relationships, making friends, allies, etc. That kind of thing. And I realize I am kind of stretching here, and if I'm gonna be doing this monologue, I'm gonna bring the Zhong to keep me safe. I realize I'm stretching here. I realize I am. I hope to redeem myself a little bit by talking about catching, who I do not have. So again, I've had to use an external resource to do a bit of research, and those mobs over on the other side have noticed me. But catching is essentially she's the second in command of the of the government of Liyue, which I mean, from the get-go, it seems to be the preservation theme that I'm going for seems to be obvious. Where it's like, ah, yes, she wants to preserve Liyue's trade and the economy and whatnot. And while I do believe that this is true, well, actually, I do believe this is true. There is no buts about it, really. I do believe that's true, and I believe that that's what catching is all about. You know, her skepticism of the gods, well, of the gods and adepti, are a part of that desire for preservation. And to the point to where she would even suggest something as, I don't want to use the term heretical, but I think it fits the best to where she would use the term, where she would suggest something like the fact that the people don't need the gods anymore. I think that she might be of the opinion that the people can arise on their own strength and have no need for a deity to descend down and save them. Shit. Fuck. But, yes. So, onwards to how this relates to Baal. And in order to help prove my point, I'll also speak on the powers that each of these vision holders possess. Now, Baal. Baal, I believe, also wants to preserve Inazuma. And the reason why I say this, and I don't think I have one, which means I might have to go back to the alchemy table for this one to help. Materials, I believe. I have not gotten the necessary piece. Okay, well we'll go back for this while I ramble a little bit more. But yes, I believe that Baal's intention is to preserve Inazuma. Now, as to what she is attempting to preserve it, what threat she's attempting to preserve it from, as another matter of speculation. Some might say the Shneznayan deity, the Saritsa. I think some might say the Abyss. She's attempting to preserve Inazuma against a threat. Now, the methodology, the two methods that she is using to do this are reminiscent of the powers within each of the vision holders that we have thus far. But before I get into that point, we are here with the Vajrata Amethyst, the gemstone specifically, because it has the full quote. And I believe that the second and third pieces of the quote are the important ones. The first one, not so much. It serves more as an introductory statement. Now, the second quote here, the second part of the quote is, it should hold absolute control over this world. It once promised its people a dream, the never-changing eternity. Now, the it that is described in these quotes is the body that is referred to in the first, which I guess makes it important somewhat. Now, as for why it should hold absolute control over this world, I think we will find out in the Archon quest line in Inazuma, after which I'll speculate on a little bit in this video. But the dream of the never-changing eternity, I believe, is not stagnation, but preservation. And the methods that we have seen thus far for Baal's methods of preservation are twofold, and represent the powers that the vision holders that we have thus far in-game also have. Let me make that point. First, the first thing I want to talk about is the storm surrounding Inazuma. The storm is a method of keeping people out. I understand that it also keeps people in, but I think its primary purpose is to force those out. And while, again, I realize I might be stretching a little bit here, Lisa's ult. Wrong. God damn it. Wrong. Here we go. Lisa's ult pushes enemies out of its AoE. Or, that phraseology works. Pushes people out of its AoE. Now, Beto's E is a protective shield, which also keeps damage from coming in, which I realize this does sound a bit insane, and I might be reaching here. Right. Now, simultaneously, a storm also does damage while acting as a sort of natural barrier, which works with Beto's ult as well. Now, the other method that Baal is resorting to when it comes to the preservation of Inazuma is that of overwhelming power. Now, how do Razer, Fischl, and Kuching represent these things? Well, Razer is, I think, the simplest, and I don't mean that in any kind of negative form. But Razer's ult is the summoning of his stand. A huge, hulking, wolf, humanoid thing. I didn't write a script for this, as you can tell. That attacks alongside him. Now, a 2-on-1 is rather daunting, and see, there it is, finally. 2-on-1 is rather daunting, but also this thing is huge, which gives it a bit of presence. You know, it's a simple idea that something huge and towering over you, hulking, would be mighty, would be overwhelming. Razer also has a really quick 5-second, just tap E, which leads to doing that much damage like that on a swift cooldown is real nice. Now, the same principle applies to Fischl. Wait, what the hell is that? Anyway, the same principle applies to Fischl. You know, Oz. Oz is a turret. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it here, but you can just place him down and, attack with Fischl, or even not Fischl. You could attack with somebody else. Oz vaporized, I realize, but yeah. It's the same idea with Razer, except it's not. It's showing. Let me start over. It's the philosophy of attempting to overwhelm with firepower, with firepower from two different directions, as opposed to overwhelming somebody with firepower from the same direction. Now, the principle of applying pain from multiple directions also applies to Kuching, which I can't show because I don't have her. But her ult is the thing where she bounces around, pew 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 pew, and then there's a bit and the damage happens. That was a horrible description of what's going on, but I'm trying to work with what I got here. I'm trying to get these thoughts out. Again, it's the principle of attacking from multiple directions. Kuching does it better than Fischl, at least in terms of that perspective. I'm not entirely sure how meta fit and actual damage numbers go for that, so I'm not making that claim. Now, I realize that some people could say, oh, well, GZ, does Raiden even desire ultimate power? Is that what Baal's after? I believe so. Because if not, why would certain techniques that Baal is in possession of, as well as the usage of those techniques, be described as a symbol of ultimate power? Take, for example, and I've been waiting for this, the video of the story teaser for Kazuha. Here, listen to this clip. Listen to this clip.
A symbol of ultimate power.
That was a description. Actually, let me go back a little bit.
The Raiden Shogun's skill. A symbol of ultimate.
Fuck. All right, hold on. Let me go back a little bit more. Shit. I didn't plan well for this, obviously. All right.
I told him it can only be witnessed when divine punishment is administered. It is the pinnacle of the Raiden Shogun's skill. A symbol of ultimate power.
Okay. So, the divine punishment execution technique that the Shogun uses is described as a symbol of ultimate power. And if so, why is it believed that Why does Baal believe that she is in need of more power? And this is where I believe the principle of stagnation that goes alongside the principle of preservation, which ties into eternity, comes in. I believe that over the course of the Archon questline in Inazuma, we will undoubtedly get insights into the motivations and more specific plans that Baal has. And I believe that one of those motivations will either be that Baal has believed that her power has stagnated, or she believes that the power of those she has given visions to, or even the citizenry of Inazuma as a whole, has stagnated. And because of this, whatever threat she is attempting to build the vision statue thing against will be able to traipse all over them unless she does something. This is what I believe her motivation is. Now, as for why she's doing it by herself instead of with the assistance of the vision holders within her nation, that is where we cut back to the jewel, the gem, the actual chunk, not the chunk, the gemstone, which says that only the one body should wield ultimate power. Now, the reasoning for why only one body should hold ultimate power is really simple. If only one has ultimate power, then as long as that person is trustworthy, for lack of a better term, then the power won't be misused. The rest of the logical argument goes like this: if more than one person possesses ultimate power, then it is assured that at some point there will be misuse. I believe that the Shogun is not trusting of the vision holders within her nation to wield great power, and that she only trusts herself to wield it, as she is the goddess of eternity. But I think that is my spiel, my whole unscripted, badly put together rant on what I believe Inazuma, the storyline, is going to be about, and how it seems Mihoyo has left us hints in one way or another. Hopefully, somebody like Tevat Historia or a lore channel for this game sees this video, and hopefully they are inspired to to make a better version of the video that's much cleaner, but better put together, because I am not good at putting together high quality content like that. I am way better at just coming up with ideas and throwing them out there in a format like this. But I mean, hey, if that's something that you, the audience, want to see, let me know. Comments are there for a reason. They're always turned on. And like I said, hopefully somebody better than me at this picks up this idea and runs with it a little bit. Shut up, Zongli. I don't care about the wine. But until then, I've been GZ, and see ya.